Would I be the asshole if I tell my aunt that she needs to replace my baking tools she threw away?
Okay, so some context for this. I love to bake, and last year I spent a pretty penny buying a set of baking utensils that I love. My aunt asked me if she could borrow them last week, and I said okay, but that I would need them back by today because I planned on baking my friend baby shower cake. I went to her house this morning to get them only to find out that she threw away several of my utensils away because they broke. To be clear, the heads on some of my utensils pop off to be washed in a dishwasher since the handles were wooden.
She thought they broke because of this, and instead of calling to tell me, she just threw them away. I'm going to go buy new ones today so I can bake the cake, but I want her to buy me the same brand of the ones that she threw away.
Not the whole set, just the brushes and spatulas.
It will only cost her like $20, $30 at most. So would I be the asshole if I tell her that she needs to buy me new ones?
Not the asshole your aunt threw things she borrowed away? Without consulting you? And didn't offer to replace them?
Oh heck no, she needs to pony up and pay for the damage she did.
Anything with a wooden handle should be hand-washed.
Stop putting them in the dishwasher. Not the asshole. She threw them away, it's her responsibility to replace them. Not the asshole at all.
That's so silly.
Did she not think it amazing how cleanly each spatula broke?
Not the asshole, but if she refuses, just think of that $20, $30 as the cost of never having to loan her anything again.
Not the asshole.
You break it, you buy it.
Clear and simple.
Don't loan out your utensils again, to anyone.
Not the asshole.
You break it, you buy it.
She thought she broke it, so she should buy them. Replacing things you take from people should be basic manners.
I broke your pencil, I give you new pencil. I lost your sweater, I buy you new sweater. I threw away your comic, I get you new comic.
Am I the asshole for telling my landlords I don't want to maintain their pool? My landlords recently moved out and are planning on renting out their apartment in the future.
They didn't even tell me until the day of that they were moving out.
They then messaged me saying that they wanted to come back and have a discussion about pool management. I told them I didn't want to be responsible for managing it because I'm paranoid that something could happen and then I would be held responsible for their pool, and I don't have the funds to even fix it if something were to happen. I'm also not home every day and I just don't want to take on that responsibility.
They got upset, saying all I would have to do is flip a switch on and off every day and then put chlorine in once a week.
I also don't even know where they go to buy the chlorine, and I'm already struggling to keep up with my bills. I don't want to add extra gas money to go get chlorine and then have to send them a receipt and wait to get reimbursed for the chlorine gas. This really feels like a full-time job that I didn't ask for, nor is it part of my lease. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take care of their pool after they moved out? You're not the asshole.
They got upset, saying all I would have to do is flip a switch on and off every day and then put chlorine in once a week.
Bull.
There is a lot more to maintaining a pool than that. They need to pay a professional to come by and maintain the pool. It's their responsibility, not yours.
Not the asshole for not wanting to do it.
If you have a lease and pool management isn't included as a tenant's obligation, duty, then you don't have to. But you can expect the pool maintenance to be added to your lease or the rent to go up to cover the cost of a service as soon as the landlords can legally do it. A fixed-term lease means they have to wait until this lease term is up to make changes. If you're month to month, they can do it with a certain amount of advance notice, usually 30-60 days depending on your location.
Play completely stupid. Ask what chlorine is. They'll reconsider asking you. Not the asshole, but you could negotiate. Call a pool maintenance place to see what they charge. Then ask for a rent reduction for about 2/3 of that. Also, they must be responsible for having sufficient chemicals on hand at all times. Not the asshole, they should hire a pool company to come out to maintain it. Not the asshole. Taking care of my mom's pool made me realize I never want one. Am I the asshole for getting a wedding cancelled by sending a video to the bride? Too long, did not read. I supplied my future aunt-in-law with proof that a cousin is talking shit about her, which caused one of the wedding celebrations to be cancelled. My Uncle Jay, 28M, is marrying Mel, 26F. She's shy, so she never wanted a big wedding where she has to walk down the aisle, etc. She wants to elope with just him and her and also have a traditional wedding from her country. He's completely cool with doing things how she wants it. But Jay's mom, Amanda, wants the typical wedding.
Mel conceded that she was okay with having an additional third wedding where Amanda could do all the planning and Mel would veto anything she didn't like. Cost-wise, it's no issue because the other 2 weddings are essentially free.
The problem started when Amanda was showing Mel the bridesmaid list. There were going to be 7 bridesmaids, and one of them was Jay's cousin Letty, 27F. Letty has been nothing but rude to Mel since the day they met. She constantly makes little digs at her, talks shit about her, and overall makes it clear that she does not like her. So Mel immediately vetoed it. Letty was in the room sitting with them during the veto and threw a fit, talking about how Mel is always rude to her. I can vouch for Mel and say that she never chooses to interact with Letty in any way, shape, form. What she does do is whenever Letty makes a snide comment, she makes a direct comment back in response. So to an outsider, it might seem like Mel is being hostile, but to everyone in the family, it's a roll your eyes moment where we know Letty is the asshole, and Mel just isn't taking it. Letty tried to claim that Mel has been holding a grudge based on the first week of the meeting, but then Mel pulled out a video that I sent her skeptical smiley face of Letty talking shit about her just a couple of days ago. In it, Letty's calling her a bitch and saying stuff like she's not even that pretty, etc. Amanda sees this and immediately starts minimizing it, saying oh she didn't mean that and so on. At this point, I think Mel has had enough because everyone in the family knows how Letty acts towards her, but they never take it seriously. They only slightly tell Letty off and are always trying to convince Mel to not take it to heart. So Mel says that she's sorry but the wedding is off. She's still going to marry Jay in the other 2 originally planned ways, but she's not going to do Amanda's version anymore. She says this all nicely, as always, but Amanda is now crying, Letty's screaming at everyone, and other family members are saying that Mel should learn how to take a joke. Days later, I said I was the one who sent Mel the video and now a couple of family members are mad at me for getting involved. Was I the asshole here? Letty won't talk to me because I'm a snitch, but I don't even like her anyway. I'm just upset that I indirectly caused Amanda to be upset. Not the asshole, and Mel sounds awesome, you've picked the right side to be on. Trust me, this wedding was doomed from before it began, and you didn't ruin anything. If anyone gives you trouble, remind them to take it up with Letty. Not the asshole, Letty reaped what she sowed. Not the asshole, tell them they need to learn to take a joke. Not the asshole. Granted, the title is slightly misleading, but in an unexpected twist, funny way. I love it that they're still getting married on their terms without extra stuff they didn't want anyway. It was the right thing to do to send Mel the video. And it was the right thing to do to acknowledge that you're the one that sent it. Kudos for you for owning the fact you sent the video to Mel. If I was Mel, I wouldn't be marrying into your family at all. Jesus. Should Mel learn to take a joke, or are you a snitch because it obviously wasn't a joke? Your relatives need to pick a lane. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to drive my fiancé to the train station after he missed his bus? My 24F fiancé, 25M, has a DHD and has a difficult keeping a schedule which often results in him sleeping past his alarm. Today he was supposed to catch the bus at 7:30 a.m. but missed it. I work shift work and had just finished my third 12-hour night shift in a row. My commute home is about 45 minutes, so I got home just before 8 a.m. and woke up my fiancé upon entry. He was upset with himself right away as he usually is when he sleeps in. We've had this issue in the past and I've previously told him that if he really needed a ride to the train station, I would prefer to pick him up at the front door. We live in an apartment, because once I'm parked in the garage and make it upstairs I'm tired and prefer not to leave again at this point, which I've still done in the past for him. I would say I probably drive him at least once every 2 weeks when he's late. He asked me if I'd drive him to the train station today, which would save him a 30-minute walk for his already long 1.5 hours commute, but I declined. I was hesitant at first, but decided that I deserved to put myself first. He seemed upset, and did make a comment saying, "I better see you in bed in 2 minutes then," but eventually went on his way. Approximately 30 minutes later, he texted me saying that he knows it wasn't good timing but that he really could have used the drive today. Later today he called and I expressed to him how I was upset by this. He said he was also upset because I wasn't there for him when he needed me and that he would have done it for me if the roles were reversed, and that he was scared there was a limit to how much he could lean on me. Also that he hopes I'm happy that I got what I wanted and for me to enjoy my extra 30 minutes of sleep.
To be fair, I'm not working today, so I'm able to sleep in later and it would have only taken me about 30 minutes in total.
I feel a bit guilty as realistically it wouldn't have been that much of a burden to drive him and it means it would help him out a lot. I know he's been having a rough time lately and worked 7 days this week, and is already angry with himself as is. Not the asshole. You were exhausted and just wanted to sleep. Sure, driving him in would have helped him a lot, but this a recurring pattern, and if you don't like being the one responsible to help every time, it would be a good idea to think of better situation to fix this.
More alarms in the house?
Ones that you have to physically get out of bed to snooze, turn off. Find a situation that works for your partner. It is okay to feel guilty about it, by the way. And it is okay to feel angry. Hope my advice helps. Not the asshole. And that he was scared there was a limit to how much he could lean on me. We're all human, and we all have our limits. You drive your fiancé very regularly and for once you said no.
He mustn't forget that you're doing him a favor, so when you say no, you're not being an asshole.
Not the asshole.
When he says you weren't there for him when he needed you, what he's really saying is, you weren't there for me when I needed you to save me from the preventable consequences of my own actions. My guess is that, more than once, he has intentionally slept in with the plan B of you driving him to the station.
Good for you for clearly communicating that this is no longer an option.
You deserve your sleep, too.
Of course there is a limit to how much he can lean on you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He is an adult. He could set multiple alarms on his phone. He wants you to parent him, not partner with him.
It's actually dangerous for you to drive when you're that tired. So how much can you depend on him if he wants you to risk your safety because he can't figure out how to adapt to his ADHD?
Not the asshole.
He said he was also upset because I wasn't there for him when he needed me and that he would have done it for me if the roles were reversed. But the thing you need from him is to take care of himself and his responsibilities.
He won't even get out of bed for himself, or you.
This isn't something that happened to him. It's something he failed to do. He knows it wasn't good timing but that he really could have used the drive today.
But you do it every 2 weeks.
What he's really saying here is that you are never allowed to say no to this request.